Hello everyone, it's Petko Alexandrov. Hope you are doing well, and in today's video I'll be talking about the Sandbox virtual world, and I will focus on the Sandbox Land, because if you have been following my YouTube channel you would know that I'm talking about trading, investing, crypto, NFTs, and it's a lot of trading going on in the Sandbox game, especially with the land. If you have seen some YouTube videos earlier this year, you would notice that the price is not just increased but doubled, tripled. The floor price is nearly at 3 Ethereum by the time I'm recording this video, which is just insane. And some of the parcels are selling for $450,000, those that are in the Snoop Dogg's neighborhood. And if I click on the map, you will see that it's not just Snoop Dogg, but many huge companies like Atari, Binance. We have plenty of brands that already purchased land all over the place on the map. So in today's video I will explain what the sandbox is, why the price keeps increasing and it's considered to be a great investment. I will share with you some purchasing tips, so if you decide to purchase land you will know what you should be looking for. And at the same time I will share with you why I haven't purchased Sandbox Land, even it's considered to be a great investment. So I really hope you will find the video useful, and if you do, please hit the like button, so this will support my work. And now I will try to explain with a super simple words what the sandbox is and how you can invest in the land. So for the people who are not familiar with the sandbox, this is a virtual world on the Ethereum blockchain which gives a true ownership to the players and the creators. And by the way, Sandbox started in 2011. It's not something new, but it was a mobile game at the beginning, and in 2018 the developers took probably the best decision in their lives to move the game to the Ethereum blockchain. And I think with the time they will just wipe out Minecraft, Roblox and all similar games, because all the assets, the Sandbox Land even, are NFTs, which means that the players actually own the assets in the game and the land, which I find to be extraordinary. Now the other thing that makes Sandbox different is it's decentralized, and it's not like Sims, Second Life, Minecraft, which are centralized where the developers build everything. Right, and there you can buy properties, NFTs, you cannot place ads on your land, or you can't benefit from your land if someone is renting it. But I will talk about all Sandbox Land use cases a little bit later in the video, because it's really a lot you can do with your land. And since it is a lot on the Sandbox Land, we can say that we have 4 major blocks. One is the Sandbox token, which I've been mentioning many times in my videos in 2021. As the price increased significantly, I've been trading in a lot, and honestly I have gained the best profits with the Sandbox as I started purchasing when it was down below the 50 cents, and I have shown a lot of trading in my channel with the Sandbox token. And the second thing is the land, which I will be talking about today. And we have the assets, which are all wearables, vehicles, different attributes, and pretty much everything in the game is NFTs that you can purchase, use for your land or for your gameplay. And the fourth thing is the game itself, which you can create on the sandbox without programming or developing skills. And this is fantastic, okay? You can create your own game on your land and charge the players with sandbox tokens if they play the game, which is something that we would have never imagined again 10 to 15 years ago, right? But it is possible right now. Of course, it takes so much more time to build a game, and I'll be talking about that in future videos. So now, after you have an idea about the 4 elements in the sandbox game, the token, the land, the assets and the games, I will dive into more details about the sandbox land, which is pretty much the core. So the land is ERC721 NFT, and it's a digital piece or real estate that allows the creators or the players to build different experiences on top of it. Now, what makes the Sandbox Land very wanted? It's not just because of Snoop Dogg's parties, but because of its scarcity. There are 166,464 NFT lands in total, or these are parcels that are put together into states. So the big companies or the huge developing teams can put a few parcels together and form a state. So this limitation of the number of lands makes them very, very precious. So even if you compare it with the Bitcoin, where we have nearly 19 million coins in circulation, but we cannot even compare that because the land on Sandbox is an NFT, or this is a non-fungible token, and the bitcoins are fungible. You can always buy from the exchange, and one bitcoin has the very same value as another bitcoin. Well, this is not the case with the Sandbox Land because each parcel is unique. So what is the second thing that matters a lot? The location. The closer you are to the center, the more valuable is your virtual land. And it's just like in the real world, right? If you are living in a big city, usually the real estates that are close to the center of the city are more expensive in general. However, in Sandbox, it matters a lot what are the surrounding experiences. So as you already seen, those around Snoop Dogg's are really expensive, but you shouldn't be looking just at one state or one company. It is best if you find a spot where you are surrounded by different experiences. This means that more people will be going through your land and you will have a higher chance to benefit from the game players. The third is the size of the land. And to give you an idea how big a land is, it is 96 by 96 meters, and 1 square meter is 32 by 32 voxels. And if I Google voxel image, you will see how those look like. So those are cubes in different colors put together that are used to create 3D images. And usually with such avatars or assets, you will not see roundish shapes, right? It's all by small cubes. And the definition we can see from Wikipedia, for example, is that the voxels include volumetric imaging in medicine and representation of terrain in games and simulations. Alright, so to put it really simply, the voxels are those cubes, and in the game you will see that the avatars and nearly everything around is created by voxels, but still it looks like 3D. And the fourth important thing about the Sandbox Land is the use cases. What can you do with the land if you own it? Well, you can do a lot. You can populate it with assets you have purchased or assets you have created. You can build different experiences on top of it. You can build games and charge the users to participate. You can build businesses, and those huge companies that are buying huge estates, they are building businesses, not just games. You can have a conference building and rent it to companies to do their virtual calls in there, which will improve their online experience. As well, you can build your home, if you will. Pretty much there are no limitations. Obviously, the simplest thing you can do with the land is to resell it on a more expensive price, which at the moment seems not so difficult because, as I say, the floor price increases very quickly over time. And to summarize it so far, the four important things about the Sandbox Land are the scarcity, the location, the size, and I forgot to mention, but it's very obvious that the bigger the size is, the better, but this costs more. And the fourth thing is the land use cases, which are many. Now let's get to the interesting stuff when it comes to investing into the Sandbox Land. Now, if you decide to purchase land, I will give you a few tips that you need to bear in mind. First things first, the land that you see on OpenSea is a secondary market. Just like with the NFT collections that you know, the secondary market is more expensive because those who are reselling the Sandbox Land want to make profit. This is very obvious. So the best thing is to buy it on pre-sale events which happen at a specific dates. You have to follow along and you can get them on the Sandbox primary market. And if you can get, of course, you can go to the OpenSea and buy one. Now on the OpenSea market, there are more filters compared to the market on the Sandbox market itself. So if you're going to the aftermarket, I would suggest you to stick to OpenSea and always make sure to purchase stuff from the official Sandbox checked verified collection. As well, there are different filters, so I will clear them all right now to give you a better idea and understanding of how you can filter and look for a potentially good investment. So I would suggest you to look for the Sandbox Land that is on a fixed price and not on an auction. And if you decide to go for the buy now, and if I click on any of it randomly, we have 3.44 of Ethereum, which is about $15,000. At the time of recording this video, you will see that there are many offerings, which means that people are offering a lower price. And guess what happens? They just pay gas fee for every offer, because if you make an offer to the seller, you will have to pay a gas fee. And obviously, the sellers nowadays know how much their piece of land costs, right? So they will not accept anything below the current price. So I'd suggest you not to spend useless gas fees on offerings, because everyone who owns Sandbox Land knows how much is the value at the moment and they will not accept a lower price. The next thing is that if you want to buy more than one parcel, you can put in the search the word connect. So by doing that, you will see 2 or more parcels that are being sold together. But actually I will need to select all items instead of single items, because the single items are not 2 or 3 parcels, right? So in this way, sometimes you can get a better deal where you can buy 2 or more parcels for a better price instead of purchasing them separately. And you have a chance of purchasing 2 parcels that are very close to each one. However, keep in mind that in the Sandbox game, the creators can relocate and move their business easily. Just like with the users, they can teleport and visit many different places. So I think with the years, when the land is fully populated and there are no free parcels, it will not matter that much where is your land, because everything around you will be already populated and there will be experiences all over the place. However, at the moment, it is preferable to have a land that is close to big experiences or interesting experiences. And one last thing at the end of the video, if I remove the word connect, you will see that below the land there are those numbers, negative something positive or 2 negative 2 positive. So basically these are the coordinates of the land, and you can search for it so you will know where exactly the land is. Or if you click on any land randomly, for example this one over here that is very close to Snoop Dogg's state, you will see that this is a land with a location 9 and negative 85. So the coordinates are with the X and Y axis. And as I said, the closer to the center you are, the better, and you can look for some coordinates in the URL. For example, if you like a parcel on the OpenSea with coordinates 75 and negative 60, putting this randomly, okay, this will bring you to the right spot and you can actually view the land, and it's right here. Okay guys, so this is about the Sandbox Land. These are the very basics that I hope were useful to you. And if they were, I'll be super happy if you support the channel with a huge like. And I'm not an expert in this field, honestly. So if I have said something incorrect, or if you want to give more details into some of the topics that I briefly touched, please do that in the comments. I'll be super happy so this video will be more useful to everyone watching. I will record more videos about the Sandbox crypto NFT game because I think it has a huge potential, not just the NFT token that I have been trading for quite a long time, but the lands. And one last thing, I promise that I will say why I haven't purchased NFT Sandbox Land yet. This is because as a trader personally, I prefer to use my funds in trading, and especially with the Sandbox, I did amazing profits through the last month. And if I lock a certain amount of money into land, I will not be able to trade this amount. Okay, but this is personally me as a trader and content creator. I don't have the physical time to create experiences and games, so I'm playing the Sandbox game and I'm learning more about it, honestly, for fun and because I think it's a project with a huge potential. But if you're looking to put your money into something for the long term, the Sandbox Land could be really one of the best investments nowadays. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Make sure to do your own research and take your own decision. I really thank you very much for watching that video and staying with me until the end. I will see you in the next, and I wish you to have a great day.